back once again. This is Chris Report, and he assured me that St. Simon's down in Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa.
We love our land. Well, folks, indeed we do. We do indeed love our land. How's it going? Folks, indeed we do. We do. Sounds good. Just double checking the microphone. Listen, that song gets me kind of choke up. As Lee Greenwood says, I'm proud to be an American. It's morning in America. 2 weeks later. And it still feels grand. Feels absolutely wonderful. I just was in a good mood. Wanted to share it with folks and talk about what's happening in America, what's happening maybe a little bit in South Africa this morning. Welcome for the crowd who's showing up with us and joining us this evening. It's after 11 p.m. here on the East Coast. It's already tomorrow morning in South Africa. How is it there in the future, guys? Tell me what it's like. Just watching footage of Trump's incredible victory and all the reactions, the meltdowns on the political left, seeing the nonsensical stories of people leaving the country. Good luck. Don't let the door, as Tom McDonald says there, don't let the big door hit you where the good Lord split you. Say goodbye to Joe. Say goodbye to Cackles Camel. Say goodbye to all these scumbags and their effort to destroy America. Hey, Light Rain, how's it going? I got a little emotional there, choked up listening to that song. It's a really good song. The more I hear it, hey, Paul, how's it going? The more I hear it, the more I love it. It's amazing. Tom McDonald, a Canadian implant, a Canadian who came to America and became an American, loves his country. Just, it's always the immigrants who come here, legal immigrants who come to this country, who love this country, to start something new, to build something better, to become something more than they could have ever been in their broke-ass countries. They come here. Did I hear of the lesbian who killed her Trump voting father in Seattle election night? I did not. I did not hear about that. See, this mental illness is rife in this country. Crazy stuff. Sorry to hear about that. Courtney McBride is here. Courtney, a person is not a fan of Donald Trump, but enthusiastically a Trump supporter and voter this year. Donald Trump brought together a massive coalition of people from all walks of life, from places that Democrats and the media claimed Trump could never do, he could never pull off, and they're all full of themselves. And we have a bright, wonderful future here in America, despite the meltdown by the media on the left. By the way, I'm not drinking a Starbucks tonight. I really do need to go in and get a blood test tomorrow. So I'm just having some water. What a strange substance, H2O. So rarely do I drink H2O. But I can't drink anything to affect my blood sugar and my blood work. So I'm just going to... it's been about 3 or 4 years since I had any blood work done, so it's been a while. So I'm going to pincushion me in the morning. Shawnee Grows is here. Hey, Shawnee. No way. Yay, a live stream. Well, yeah, and a happy live stream. We're here to share some joy tonight. I have to thank Kamala Harris. Her campaign was all about joy and bringing joy back to America. And I have to say that she has succeeded in a way that she, in her wildest dreams, she could never imagine. Joy has returned to America. It's morning America. People are joyful. And with that note, I'm looking at this and I'm getting closer and closer to this disappearing, ladies and gentlemen. The days are numbered for this Grandpa Moses beard. And the new Chris will be revealed after Christmas. So be prepared for that. The big reveal is coming after Christmas. Yeah. Wish I could put more money in savings. The cost of living is so high, it's very frustrating to deal with. Yes, it is, Courtney. It really is. And we won't get deflation, unfortunately, which will drive prices back down. We'd sure love to see it. But there are some sectors of the economy where prices have held steady. I mean, people don't realize it. But for instance, wow, what's going on here? Have I got like 30 second delay here? Wow, hang on a second. Like 30 second. No, it's right now. Okay. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Seemed like it was a long time ago since I waved my hand, but then I look over here, 2, 3. Okay, 3 seconds. That's what it's supposed to be. So the poo tube is playing nice tonight. New Chris in the new year with a new administration. Yeah, I think so. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, life is grand. Life is a gift. Life is an amazing. Think about it. You were just a clump of cells. You were just a little sperm and just a little egg. And then your cells divided and divided and divided. And your DNA built you into what you are. And you grew in your mother's womb. And you were born either through the birth canal or through a cesarean section. But here you are in this world. Someone raised you, maybe well, maybe not so well, but you matured into an adult and became who you are today with your own unique personality, with your own unique voice, with your own unique appearance and your idiosyncrasies and your quirks and the wonderful parts that make you, Shawnee, you, that make you, Courtney, you, that make you, Brian, you. It's a gift, one we should never take for granted. Life passes by far too fast. We're here today, and one day, none of us will be here. And there'll be others. But America will endure. What a gift that is. What an amazing gift that is. The greatest experiment in human polity ever envisioned in this world. We are the luckiest SOBs on the planet to have such an amazing group of men who were available at the same time, in the same place, with the same vision, with the same concept. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Wow. Anyway, I'm getting all choked up here and emotional and, getting verklempt. So maybe it's time to start talking about some of the things I want to talk about tonight, including Scott Presler tonight. Yes, and a whole host of other things. We are going to look at the vote totals. Donald Trump with a record number of votes for a president. And no, Joe Biden was not a sitting president. This is the most votes a president in the United States has ever gotten running for office again. Yep, Donald Trump now at over 76.5 million people who voted for him as the votes trickle in. It's been 2 weeks. Alaska, Pennsylvania, California, Oregon are still counting votes. What is wrong with this system? What is wrong with this? That was a great introduction for tonight's chat. Well, thank you, Shawnee. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling it. I have my alma mater hoodie on tonight. I grabbed it. There you go. Ohio. Yes, California is still Ohio University Bobcats, a university that for decades I was proud to be a graduate of, but then it went woke and my pride in my university was tarnished a bit. But hey, we're there. We'll hang on. We'll persevere. Hey, it's a small audience, but thank you all for being here. That's fine. I just wanted to share this evening with some wonderful people, and you guys are here. Let's start tonight with Scott Presler, the persistence. Scott Presler showed up in Bucks County, Pennsylvania for the commission's hearing. They had one last week. At the hearing, which I covered, not in person, but afterwards, 8 people or thereabouts showed up. The room was almost empty. And that's when famously the commissioner said, she doesn't care about the law. We'll just do what we want. Yeah, well, Scott Presler showed up. I saw it when it was live today. I was like, whoa, that's Scott Presler in the front row. I did a screen capture. I was going to post on Twitter, but the day has gotten away from me. So here's the video of Scott Presler in Bucks County talking in his 3 minutes he gets. Everyone gets 3 minutes. You'll notice the room is completely full, standing room only, because of this lawless behavior of Democrats in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, in violation of the Supreme Court. Lawless Democrats, election deniers, election thieves. So let's talk about this really. I heard about that bomb cyclone on the West Coast. Yep. So let's talk about this. All right. So watch. This is Scott Presler as he goes up for his 3 minutes. Of course, Scott Presler from Virginia, but has spent a lot of time here in Pennsylvania for the election. That's not what I want. Where's the one I want? There's a little one here. I'm trying to get it. Okay, something's not right. I think it's because this camera is just playing difficult. I'm going to change the settings. Somehow I can't get the settings right on that camera. So let me see. No, that's not it. Where the heck's it at? Oh, come on, man. Where's this thing at? There we go. Good Lord. That took a long time to figure out. Scott Presler, this is from his Twitter account. And we're going to listen for a couple minutes what Scott Presler has to say. And listen to what she has to say. She says, bring it on, basically.
Good morning.
Now, it was actually afternoon when this was on, not good morning. So I'm not really sure why I said good morning. But what I wanted to say is that there was a tweet, which I don't know if it's Scott's boyfriend or partner or whatever, or just a friend, but he had his arm around Scott and he posted on Twitter. He said, do you hate us? Do you have issues with us because Scott and I are gay? I'm like, I don't care if you're gay. Well, my only beef with Scott Pressler is he promised to come on my program 2 years ago, and I haven't heard back from him. He didn't respond. Anyway, so let's see what Scott Pressler's got to say.
Bucks County has been in the news a lot this year.
You think?
Earlier, we flipped Bucks County from blue to red, and for the first time in modern history, there are more registered Republicans than Democrats here in this county.
Yep.
Number two, voters were disenfranchised in this county. And in fact, I want to thank Chairman Michael Whatley of the RNC and co-chair Laura Trump for suing to make sure that we had 3 additional days of early in-person voting, because voters waiting in line to do in-person, on-demand, mail-in voting were told that they couldn't vote until 5 o'clock, that the line was cut off. So thank you to the Republican Party.
Now, the commissioner lied and said there is no early voting in Pennsylvania. That's a lie. There is early voting in Pennsylvania. It's the mail-in voting, in person, on demand. You can request it. And Republicans tried to go in because Trump encouraged them to vote early, and they were unprepared for it. So they tried to cover their backside by saying there is no such thing as early voting in Pennsylvania. But she's a liar. She's a liar. The Washington Post is a liar. The New York Times are liars. There is, in fact, early voting in Pennsylvania. It's called in-person, on-demand voting. In effect, it is early voting. The dates are specified when you can go to the County Board of Elections, stand in line, request a mail-in ballot, fill it out in private, and then drop it off right there. What is that but early voting? Well done, Scott Pressler and the RNC.
For suing Bucks County and fighting for election integrity. And now, here before us, it's on the world stage that we have a commissioner, quote, by Diane Marsiglia, "Precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country. People violate laws any time they want. And if I, meaning Diane Marsiglia, violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it." Well, Commissioner, the court already ruled that undated and...
So what he's talking about is in 2023, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, with 5 Democrats and 2 Republicans, voted to uphold and follow the law that they voted to violate in 2020. In other words, the ballots must be signed properly, they must be dated properly, and they must be at the election station by 8 p.m. on election day, or they're invalid. But these criminals in Bucks County continued to count ballots that came in after that in violation of the Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court, before the election this year, reiterated with another ruling they issued saying that you must follow the law. And then after the election, when these people were caught breaking the law and counting votes that were not legitimate, they were told once again in a 4-3 decision by a Democratic-leaning Supreme Court of Pennsylvania that they cannot count the ballots. Now, what you don't see is Scott gets just 3 minutes to speak on the podium. He's down to 1 minute and 32 seconds, and that's because I'm covering up the clock. So here, he's got 1 minute and 32, and he's going to admonish her, Diane Ellis Marsiglia. He's going to admonish her. Scott has become such an unlucky patriot, would not have called it, but hey, use the troops you have. He volunteered. Well, Light Rain, when I met him 2 years ago at the CPAC convention in Florida, in Orlando, he was already kind of a minor celebrity in electoral circles, and I saw the potential in the guy and the energy. What I didn't know is that he must be rich or doesn't have a job. He can spend all his time marshaling forces. So he has become quite an effective person. I kind of envy him. I wish I'd just gone out and done the same thing. But the hair, he's young, he's gay. These are things people latch on to. Anyway, let's continue with what Scott's got to say.
Misseated mail-in ballots could not be counted. You knew that going into the meeting. And I want to congratulate the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. This speech I'm doing right now is going to be seen by millions across the country, the Commonwealth, and the world. And I have a message. Congratulations to President-elect Donald J. Trump, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America.
And here it comes. Get ready for it. This is going to be, that's great, but this is even better.
Congratulations to Senator-elect Dave McCormick, and we are not going to allow Democrats to steal this seat from us. Furthermore, congratulations, because we defeated Matt Cartwright, giving President Trump an additional seat in Congress. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Rob Bresnahan. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Ryan McKenzie, defeating Democrats Susan Wild in Allentown and Lehigh. And I have a message.
Yeah, here it is.
Peacefully, we are coming for your seat in 2027. If you don't resign today,
how about it?
I am coming for your seat peacefully. And Harvey, Commissioner Harvey, this goes for you too. You are complicit. Mark Elias and his cronies must be disbarred from practicing law in Pennsylvania. Any of his cronies for the misconduct that they did. I want you to know that I am going to spend all of my time in Bucks County for the next 3 years making sure that we take back this county. Thank you to every single patriot that showed up today. We did
Woo! Man, oh man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. Whoops, where'd my camera go? Oops, I'm off the camera there. Wow, we did it. That's right. And we are still doing it. The Republicans tonight have secured 219th seat in the House of Representatives, which is 3 races left remaining. They have the lead in 2 of those races. The third one's gone against them in California in a race of 2 immigrant Americans, 1 Vietnamese, 1 Hispanic or Asian. And that one's gone against us by about 397 votes. But the other 2 races are still in Republican hands at this hour. 3 more congressional seats yet to be called. But the Republicans now have 219 seats in this House of Representatives. When I was young, gays were hen's teeth. Now they're a dime a dozen. What happened? Oh, they were always here, Brian. They just weren't open. It was something that you couldn't do. You couldn't be gay. It was something that was frowned upon. The gays have always been there. They've always been 5% of the population. It's just you never saw many of them. It wasn't until Stonewall in New York that things began to change, and then San Francisco and Haight-Ashbury and everything. But gays have always been there. Yep, they've always been part of society. It's just that we just didn't see much of it because people couldn't be openly gay for such a long time. Okay, so let's get on to the next thing I want to talk about tonight, folks, and that is that the United Kingdom's Parliament intends to summon government employee Elon Musk, Donald Trump's cabinet member, to the United Kingdom over their role in the summer riots. Well, X had no role in the summer riots. The government prompted these riots with its failure to perform adequate law enforcement in the United Kingdom. Members of Parliament are to summon Elon Musk to testify at X's role in spreading disinformation in a parliamentary inquiry into the UK riots and rise of false and harmful artificial intelligence. Senior executives from Meta, which runs Facebook and Instagram, and TikTok are also expected to be called for questioning as part of a Commons Science and Technology Select Committee media inquiry. The MPs will investigate the consequences of generative AI. Yes, well, you can summon Elon Musk, but he's not a citizen of your corrupt fascist regime in the United Kingdom. So unless he decides to go, you can stick it where the sun don't shine. Quit sticking your nose into American corporations. We don't tell you how to run Jaguar. You can run Jaguar right into the ground with your idiotic advertising. We don't care. But do not stick your nose in American corporations. No, they have, but something has changed the natural order of things. Yeah, acceptance has. The Clash, White Riot. Okay, Sean, how's it going? Remember when Ilhan Omar introduced legislation to nullify the Hague Invasion Act? Gay thing allowed him to avoid all automatic attacks left. Yes, exactly. Yep. The attacks that would have been laid out for traditional strong leader like me, unusual weapons. Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. And along those lines, Nancy Mace has won at the U.S. House of Representatives, preventing Tim McBride, Sarah McBride, whatever the Congress person going in there is Sarah McBride going in. Nancy Mace has won. And I'll tell you why Nancy Mace won this battle. She would have lost the battle if she was just Marjorie Taylor Greene, just a Republican. She would have lost the battle because the left came for her. Oh, you're a bigot. You're shameful. You're making an issue. You're trying to make noise out of the transgender thing because a transgender person is now in Congress. But she said something that stopped the left. It won't stop them forever. They are shameful human beings, and they won't care about this. But she said something, a deeply personal thing that was hers for her alone. She shared it, and they couldn't stop her, so she won. Just like Scott Pressler's openly gay and articulate and has great journey hair from the 1970s. And so they couldn't go after him the way they go after someone like me, a heterosexual, straight, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant male with a track record. So you're right about that. Exactly right. But Nancy Mace said, I'm the first female graduate of the Citadel, which is a military college in South Carolina, which gets automatic commissions in the military. I'm the first female graduate. But that wouldn't have stopped them. The left still would have attacked her. But what she said next in this battle to stop biological males from using women's restrooms, dressing rooms, and changing rooms, making women feel uncomfortable, what she said next is what stopped them in their tracks. It stopped them in their tracks because they would be exposed for the hypocrites that they are had she not said the following. Nancy Mace, Representative Nancy Mace said, and I am a victim of rape and sexual assault. And that stopped it, full stop, right there. They didn't know what to do. Just like with Scott Press, they didn't know what to do. What can they say? What are they going to say? Oh, no. You can't diminish her Me Too moment. You cannot, because you played on that for years. So Nancy Mace won this battle, and she will win the battle to ban biological males from entering government facilities where biological females use changing rooms, locker rooms, and restrooms. That's why she won. Nancy Mace. Not because she was right, but because she had the cudgel and the moral courage and the personal sacrifice to tell people that she had been raped. That's why she won. And that's leadership. Sacrificing something of yourself. If you've been raped, you don't want people to know that information. That's something that people don't want to share. I remember when the actress from Top Gun, Kelly McGillis, back in the 1980s, came out in public and said she'd been raped. People didn't say that. You never told people you were raped. It was something you're supposed to be ashamed of. Not as if the victim of rape ever did anything to deserve it, but it was always something that was not discussed. When Kelly McGillis told the public, and then her career was over. She never had any other acting jobs because they're disgusting pigs in Hollywood. But when she said that in the 1980s, I was like, oh, what? She said that to someone. Nancy Mace disarmed the political left, the hate wankers. They were dumbfounded. They couldn't respond. And that's why she's won today. Brilliantly played by Nancy Mace. Brilliantly played. Attractive legislator, too. Got some good-looking Republicans in Congress. Paulina Luna, and yeah, this one here. Some very attractive ones. Bucks County officials face calls for resignation for violating a court order at rowdy commissioners meeting. That's the one we just saw. We say all things are out of turn. We all make mistakes. I made a mistake, said Bucks County Commissioner Diane Ellis Marseglia, who's become the focus of Republican anger. GOP activists flooded the Bucks County Board of Commissioners meeting today, loudly calling for Democratic members of the board to resign and launching a long-shot impeachment effort over board members' decisions last week to defy court orders related to mail and provisional ballots. The Democratic-led county was one of several across the state that voted last week to count illegal mail-in ballots despite Pennsylvania Supreme Court rulings. On Monday, the court reiterated that order against these rogue, lawless criminals. My question is the following. Why has the Pennsylvania state troopers not shown up at her door and arrested her? Why is this woman and the people on this board who voted to count illegal ballots not under arrest? Why have not been remanded to the county sheriff in the county? That's my question this hour. That is my question. All right, ladies and gentlemen, updating the congressional races. 3 races remain undecided. California, that's one of them. Let's take a look at this. 218 is the path, and the Republicans have the trifecta, the presidency, the Senate, and the House. Now, it's official. Even with Matt Gaetz' resignation, they still have 218 seats until that seat is a runoff election, and then they'll have 219 again. So, by the way, Van Orden, the guy, is that the guy? Oh, it's Wisconsin. That's not the right one. It's the wrong race I'm thinking of. So, 3 races. We have one in Iowa, California 13, and California 45. Miller Meeks is up by 801 votes, the Republican. Duarte is up by 351 votes in California 13. And Tran is the seat that would be flipped for the Democrats in California 45 with a 397 vote lead. 219 to 213. This is outrageous. It should be 300 to 145. That's what it should be for the Republicans. But there you have it. At this hour tonight, another race. One flipped yesterday, one turn yesterday, one turn today. So there you go. So I remember when Ilyan introduced that. Okay. Well, you guys got quiet in the chat. Are you all still here? I'm starting to get nervous. Are you just listening intently to what I've got to say here? It got very quiet. Very quiet. Anyway, so there we go. There's the chat coming on there. Okay, Shawnee is listening. Okay, so you must be listening intensely. That's good. So 219 seats now for the Republicans. They have the House. They have it. It's over. It's done for. The liberal leftist lunatics can cry in their milk. They can scream. They can rage at the moon. They have lost. They have lost gay votes. They have lost American Indian votes. They have lost Hispanic votes badly. They've lost black men. They've lost women. They've lost rural voters. They've lost urban voters. They lost 12 percentage points in California, 12 percentage points in New York, 8 percentage points in Massachusetts. They were thumped everywhere in this country by Trump. And the Republicans were going to flip 4 Senate seats. 4 Senate seats. People said they would be lucky. They might get 50 or 51. They will have 53 minimum. 53 seats in the Senate. Once the New York Times finally admits that Dave McCormick has won in Pennsylvania, which they refuse to do. Votes still coming at this hour. Donald Trump has added 100,000 more votes since the last time I updated this chart. So 98.8% of the votes are counted, meaning 1.2% of the votes are outstanding. At 153 million votes, that means that 1 million and 1.2 million plus another half of that is going to be, so just about 2 million votes left to be counted. And Donald Trump has 76,705,000 votes, a 2.4 million vote lead over Kamala Harris. Wow. 76 million. Take care. See you in December. December? What's going on, Myra? The Soros-backed district attorney in Los Angeles County was successfully recalled. I didn't see that. Thank you for sharing that, Courtney. That's some good news there as well. In the Senate, they refused to turn the race for Dave McCormick, who has clearly won in Pennsylvania, and we're just waiting for the recount to be finished on the 27th. So once McCormick has won that, it'll be 53 to 47. Yep. So there you go. Republicans will have flipped 4 seats. Yep. So let's take a look at what's happened here, folks. I'm going to show you some graphs, and this is from the New York Times, and there's some data here, okay? So for starters, you probably can't read that, but you can see the color there. Changes in votes by county partisanship compared to 2020. In counties in America that are heavily Democratic, Harris lost 12% of the vote. Trump gained 3%. In those that are moderately Democratic, she lost 10, he gained 3. In lean Democrat, she lost 6, he gained 3. In lean Republican, she lost 6, and he gained 4. In moderately Republican, she lost 5, and he gained 3. In heavily Republican, she lost 2, and he gained 4. In every sort of category, in every part of the country, Donald Trump won at least 3% across the board. That's absolutely insane. And she lost an average of between 12 and 5% across the country. The mayor of Oakland has also been recalled. Wow. So, okay, that's awesome. I didn't see that. Thank you for sharing that. It's hard to keep up on these things. So let me just give you some stats here. It's going to beggar the imagination here, all right? So let's do this, okay? In New York City, so Trump went to New York City, and people said, hey, why is he going to Madison Square Garden? He can never win New York. Well, winning the popular vote matters, which is what I said. We had to win the popular vote. So let's take a look at New York City and what happened here. In New York City, from 2020, she lost 573,000, 500,000, almost 600,000 votes in New York City alone. Donald Trump gained 94,612 votes in the Big Apple. That is a swing of 660,000 votes. He swung 660,000 votes in his direction from New York City alone. He's winning the race by 2.6 million. So of the 2.6 million votes that he won by, 670,000 are from New York City alone. That is why it was important to go there. Let's take a look at Chicago and see what happened there, even in Chicago. In Chicago, she lost 295,000 and he gained 22,000. That means Chicago, or Cook County, excuse me, not Chicago, Cook County. So it's all of Chicago and the county. He had a swing of 317,000. Add the 317,000 vote swing in Cook County to New York City, and that's 1 million of his 2.6 million vote popular vote total. Hang on. One more major county one more major location we need to talk about, and that is Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, Los Angeles County. Los Angeles County. All right, let's see if I can find it here. She lost 621,000 votes in Los Angeles County, and Trump won 37,000 more for a swing there of 650,000. So you take the 1 million from Cook County, Chicago, New York City, and now another 600,000. That is 1.6 million votes in the entire country, 350 million people, 330 million people, 1.6 million of his 2.6 million vote difference from 3 geographic locations, very small in the entire country. That shows you how important it was for Donald Trump to win votes in California, to win votes in New York, and to narrow the margin. That's how important it was, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely important. Absolutely important. Now, interestingly enough, he lost votes in San Bernardino County. So did she. She lost 105,000 and he lost 2,800. You know what that tells me? San Bernardino County is experiencing a population decline. People are flying from there. They are leaving that area. In San Francisco or Santa Clara, okay, yeah, it doesn't look good there. So there are still votes coming in from California. The northern counties haven't turned the stuff in yet. Crazy. Anyway, yep. So in my county, York County, she actually gained votes, 30,800, and Trump gained 8,100. But the reason she gained votes is because the Biden regime illegally imported criminal alien invaders into Pennsylvania and dumped them in our county. Dumped them in our county, clogging our schools, raising our taxes, clogging our housing situation, and filling our streets with people who have no business being here. That doesn't explain how these people voted because these are American citizens. That's what they did now, and those people will be citizens in 8 years. This is what happened under Obama. People became citizens. Anyway, we were told to be a close election. I didn't say it was going to be a close election. I said all things being equal, it will be a landslide for Trump. He will win a landslide in Electoral College. I predicted for at least 2 weeks. I predicted longer than that. I thought it might be more, but I predicted the last 2 weeks it was going to be 318 electoral votes and a popular vote victory. And what do we have? A popular vote victory and 312 electoral votes, not 318. So, yep. Black friend with family in Brooklyn said they were enraged at the illegals in luxury hotels, all voted Trump. Yep, exactly. Great idea. If I ever break the law, I'll just look earnestly in the computer. I made a mistake. Who needs lawyers? Exactly. Right. So that is very telling, folks. Very telling. So this is the story the Washington Examiner is carrying from what I showed you a few moments ago with Scott Pressler. Bucks impassioned voters vow to kick Bucks County Democratic commissioners out of office. Here she is with Josh Shapiro, who endorsed her. Democratic Commissioner Diane Ellis Marseglia spoke before people who showed up to give her a piece of their minds for openly defying Pennsylvania Supreme Court to stop counting undated or incorrectly dated mail-in ballots in the race between Bob Casey and his challenger Dave McCormick. Yep. Last week, she stunned Bucks County voters and the world when she said precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country. People violate laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate the law, it's because I want the court to pay attention. Yep. She says there's nothing more important than counting votes, but she disallowed votes. She and her commissioners disallowed votes. Well, reports are all over Twitter claiming that Ellen DeGeneres has abandoned America and moved to the UK. I don't know if it's true. I suspect it's probably just a bit of hyperbole by the press. But if Ellen DeGeneres chose to move to the fascist United Kingdom where free speech is banned and the government hates white, English, Brits, Irish, Scots, and Welsh, well, then that's her prerogative to move to a fascist empire. But anyway, good luck to her, to Ellen DeGeneres. Good riddance. Don't let the big door hit you where the good Lord splits you, as Tom McDonald would say. Yep. Piers Morgan said, oh my God, no. She's moved to Great Britain, lists to Montecito Estate, and never coming back to the United States. An exclusive, apparently, but I don't know if it's true. So goodbye to Helen DeGeneres. Good riddance. You will not be missed. Ladies and gentlemen, do you support Nancy Mace in her fight to keep biological men out of women's spaces in Congress? Now, if you're a man and you don't find that attractive, there's something wrong with you. Or maybe you're gay. But gay men find women attractive too. They just don't lust after them. So Charlie Kirk has shared something, a photograph of the corrupt January 6th committee, saying they fear Trump will put them in jail. What's your reaction? Well, what is your reaction to the January 6th committee that violated all norms? They destroyed evidence, they obstructed justice, and they committed high treason. Adam Schiff, Liz Cheney, Jamie Raskin, a whole host of characters on this. Adam Kinzinger. So they destroyed exculpatory evidence. They inserted fictitious audio into a January 6th video. They avoided key witnesses like the chief of Capitol Police. They removed Republicans from the committee. And they televised hearings on prime time to influence the public. This was a setup, a cover-up. These people all need to be charged with criminal acts. And maybe Matt Gaetz will be the Attorney General to make that happen. Well, turning our attention to South Africa and the Pretoria High School for Girls. Richard Wilkinson, our friend, whom we've interviewed on the program before, said the way to beat lies and bullies is to fight back with the truth and to demand transparency and accountability. That's exactly what I do each and every day. That's exactly what we will do. We will not give up the Pretoria girls. For what is at stake is not just the fate of one school. What is at stake is nothing less than the future of education in Gauteng. And he shares the missing investigative report at Pretoria Girls School, a new essay on school capture. Please check it out on Twitter at Wilkinson Cape. Is that what it says? Wilkinson Cape? Okay, that's his username, Wilkinson Cape. So he's on Twitter, and I will also be talking about that report first chance to get. If Trump doesn't move forward with his deportation plans and no longer support him. That's the thing. So I was on my news broadcast earlier today, and some of you weren't there, so I'll just share it. You know, people are talking about a lot of talk and no solutions. I have solutions. There is a psychosis in the liberal left. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. We've seen it for years. They're absolutely bat crap. They used to have Bush derangement syndrome, but they have Trump derangement syndrome. It's a psychosis. It's a mental condition. It really is. Look at this reaction. These people screaming and losing their minds, beating their cars, smashing their TVs because Donald Trump won an election. You would think that someone, foreclosed their home and put them in prison or the gulag. None of what that has happened. They're just people with serious mental issues. So much like Elon Musk and his Doge take off of his cryptocurrency with the Department of Government Efficiency, I have a solution, and I step forward and offer my candidacy tonight to President-elect Donald Trump. I offer to be the director of the Trump Deportation Service. I'll happily sign up for it, and we will recruit only former military and law enforcement officers, hiring all agents at the GS-13 entry level, and then we will go from there. This will cost us approximately $50 billion a year. It's a drop in the bucket for the crime committed against Americans by criminal alien invaders. We will go into the cities of Los Angeles as federal agents with the authority to apprehend these criminal alien invaders. We will go into Boston, Michelle Wu. We will go into Chicago, Brandon Johnson. We will go into D.C. We will go to the places where these resistance treasonous bastards refuse to obey the law and cooperate with federal authorities. The Trump Deportation Service, under my direction, will remove criminal alien invaders. We will begin with the criminal convicted 659,000 aliens who are criminals in this country, including nearly 15,000 convicted murderers and 16,000 convicted rapists. We will go after them and we will deport them. We will then begin denying our foreign aid to every country where they came from until they compensate us for the cost of deporting each of these criminal alien invaders back to their ports of origin. That is what we shall do. The Trump Deportation Service. I'm ready to lead this organization. Feel free to share this with Donald John Trump. This is a solution, not complaining about problems. Cecile Richards oversaw the murder of children in the womb for their body parts. And today, creepy Joe Biden awarded her and disgraced the Presidential Medal for Freedom. Yep. Cecile Richards, who oversaw the massive scandal that involved killing babies and abortions so their body parts could be sold for research. Today, Joe Biden awarded her America's highest civilian honor, absolutely evil and disgusting. It is. And it disgraces the award. This is an absolute disgrace to the medal. This is the problem with decorations. That's why I don't get excited about my decorations. All of mine are earned, but there are often times that people aren't recognized when they should have earned something, including myself. So here you have it. Absolute evil and disgusting is how Life News describes it, and I agree 100%. An abortionist being recognized by a Catholic president of the United States, incredibly disturbing. Evil personified. Awarding her the Presidential Medal of Freedom is truly sick, historically disgraceful act, spit in the face of our nation. Indeed it is. No different than nominating Rachel Levine as an admiral in the Public Health Service. No different than that. These sick, demented lunatics will soon be out of office, but they will not try to stop their behavior. Light Red says, Colonel of Deportation. COD. Yep, there you go, folks. There you have it. But I am in a really, really good mood. Just I'm watching all these videos online. It's just incredible stuff. It's wild, folks. Now, let's talk about this. This is pretty crazy, okay?
It's because you...
Hang on. Jasmine Crockett. This is a member of the House of Representatives who's got her head up to rectum. Another one of these Congress people with her head up to rectum. So let's go ahead and get to this. Wow, this woman is just crappy. Yeah, Joe Biden is grabbing her in an odd way, but that's creepy Joe. That's kind of what he does. All right, listen. God bless it. There it is. Listen to what this guy. Listen to what she has to say. This is shocking. This is just racism personified. This woman is twisted and evil. She's also an idiot. Let's listen.
It's because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country. You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me.
Jews who were lynched in the South during the Civil Rights Movement. Which white men were dragged out of their home? That would be the settlers of Western Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee, butchered, scalped, raped, murdered by Native Americans. Which white men? Yeah, okay. You dingbat.
Which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you were going to go and work?
That would be the Irish who were taken by the British as slaves beginning with Oliver Cromwell in the 1600s and shipped to the Caribbean to cut sugarcane as slaves, not indentured servants, slaves. So get your head out of your ass, you complete moron.
We are going to steal your wives. We are going to rape your wives. That didn't happen.
In the Caribbean islands, slave owners bred Irish girls as young as 11 and 13 with black Africans to reproduce mixed race mulattoes to continue the path of racism, of slavery, because it was much easier to enslave someone of dark skin because it was obvious that they were slaves as opposed to someone who's white.
That is oppression. We didn't ask to be here.
I didn't ask to be here either, and I was born in this country, much like this dumbass was born in this country. I didn't ask to be taken from Germany or from Norway or from Denmark or from any of my origin places, and it really isn't germane because none of that is why I am here today, and neither is any of that why this idiot is in America today, this ungrateful piece of human feces that sits in Congress.
The same migrants that y'all constantly come up against, we didn't run away from home. We were stolen. So
actually, correct the record, dumbass. You were sold by black Africans to slavers. Your ancestors, not you. You weren't ripped from anything. Your ancestors were sold by black Africans for profit, for money, after taking captives in war. Wars they conducted against neighboring states and communities. Why? Because warfare and slavery was the norm in West Africa. It is historical norm.
Yeah, we are going to sit here and be offended when you want to sit here and act like, and don't let it escape you that it is white men on this side of the aisle telling us, people of color on this side of the aisle, that y'all are the ones being oppressed, that y'all are the ones that are being harmed.
This is what you call an uninformed, stupid racist. That's what this woman is. She's an uninformed, stupid racist with the intelligence quotient of, I don't know, a doorknob. Yeah, So, wow, her rant there, uninformed idiocy. She was never ripped from anyone. She was nothing. She was born in this country into a country of privilege and wealth, a country of resources and land of opportunity. And she chooses to betray it by distorting history and lying about it because she doesn't know anything about history. She doesn't know how white people were taken as slaves for millennia by Arabs in North Africa, by Arabs in the Middle East, by Turks, by Genghis Khan, the Golden Horde, the Timurids. Doesn't know that whites were enslaved by the Romans, enslaved by the Greeks. Doesn't know it because she's an idiot. She also doesn't know that black people were enslaved for millennia by black Africans, and they were sold for over 1,400 years to Arabs into the Middle East through the Sahara. But no, we're going to listen to her rant because she's an angry black woman, and she can get away with that. No, you will not be tolerated for your lies about history. So what say you guys? What say you? Now, this is the most precious photograph I've seen this week. I absolutely love this still capture. This is Sunny Houston on the Dystopian View when being forced to read a legal note to refute the lies and the slander that she just uttered on the Dystopian View. This is precious. I think I'm going to frame this. I'm going to frame this. Or make a wallet-sized picture to carry to my wallet and reflect upon the evil leftist liars. This is a former federal prosecutor. Can you believe that? This idiot, this race-hustling piece of human slime. That's Sunny Houston. 2 million Gauls died. Yep, because of Julius Caesar. He murdered a couple 100,000 just at one battle. Yep. So, please don't deport that black woman. No, she's not coming there right now. The monopoly on victimhood. Yep, they're the only victims. The only victims. The only victims. I'm quite tired of hearing about this nonsense from 12% of the population. Taking up 80% of the oxygen.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. This is Sarah McBride. Sarah McBride is the first transgender member of the House of Representatives. Just thought I'd share that with you. So, let's be clear. It's Republicans that may issue this. Really? Why are you holding a press conference outside the Capitol building if Republicans are the ones that made a big deal about this? Wow. So, let's listen to this fantasy fairy tale here by Sarah McBride. Okay?
Let's be clear. The party that was focused on culture wars, the party that was focused on trans people, was the Republican Party. It was Donald Trump.
No. The Republican Party didn't introduce biological boys into girls' bathrooms and get girls raped in Virginia. The Republican Party did not do that. Republican Party did not change the National Collegiate Athletic Association rules allowing biological males like Leah Thomas, to compete in women's swimming. The Republican Party did not do that. Donald Trump had nothing to do with it. You demonic, mentally deranged lunatics are the ones who did it.
It was the $100 million, $200 million that they spent on television ads. But I want to be clear, I do not...
Okay, let's be clear. The Republicans' campaign for Trump spent $330 million on the campaign. I saw not a single transgender advertisement from a PAC or from the Republican Party. So it seems highly unlikely and virtually impossible, if not implausible, that they spent $150 million on transgender acts. That's just a lie. That's just a lie.
I believe, from what I've seen in Delaware, that voters in my state were responding to those attacks. Delaware is in the Philadelphia media market, so we were seeing those ads that Donald Trump clearly...
I'm in the Philadelphia media market. I was not seeing those ads that this lying sack of horse manure is using to play the victim here.
Prioritized and focused in with regard to the culture wars. What I was hearing from voters across the state of Delaware, my district is urban, suburban, and rural. It looks like America. And what I was hearing was not the ads that Donald Trump was putting on the air. What I was hearing from folks is the need to build an economy that works for everyone. What I was hearing was...
The ads from Donald Trump were talking about building an economy that works for everyone. So I don't know what ads you were watching there, buddy.
That the American dream is increasingly unaffordable and inaccessible. What I was hearing...
Gee, why is that? Because of the doofus from Delaware. And here's another doofus from Delaware.
Hearing was that we need to guarantee affordable health care, housing, and child care for
No, that's not what I was hearing from Americans.
every person in this state and in this country. That's what I was hearing. That's what I was campaigning on. I didn't run on my identity, but my identity was not a secret. And in a state where 2/3 of the voters are in the Philadelphia media market, with a trans candidate on the ballot statewide, that candidate not only performed on par with other Democrats, but had the highest percentage of any Democrat running for major statewide office in Delaware this cycle. And so I think what we have to all recognize here is that when a politician tries to take an issue that impacts a handful of people in a handful of states and turn it into the most important issue in an election.
And what Congresswoman McBride is describing is the Democratic Party taking an issue that affects a handful of people in a handful of states and making it a national issue is exactly what the Democrats have done with transgender over the past 6 years. They created this tempest in a teapot, not Republicans. And now they're responding to Republicans taking issue with this biological male walking into the women's restroom. By the way, every member of Congress has their own toilet. They have their own restroom. And there are unisex restrooms throughout the halls of the Rayburn office building, a building I have been in, a building I've had lunch in, a building whose members of Congress I've visited. Why is this member of the House of Representatives getting all the attention when this member is talking about the Republicans are making a big deal out? But the Republicans aren't the ones holding a press conference talking about their campaign after the campaign's been won. It is Sarah McBride, who is in front of the Congress, in the front of the media, playing the victim, playing exactly the role that the Democrats want Sarah McBride to play, the victim. And if that's your identity, if you've transitioned from being a biological male into a woman and it's all about your identity, maybe the problem is you, sweetheart. Maybe that's the problem.
Everyone has to ask why. And the answer to that question is that Donald Trump was trying to divide and distract from the fact that he has absolutely no policy solutions for the issues that are actually keeping voters up at night.
Excuse me? What planet are you on? How did somebody vote for this idiot? Donald Trump has no solutions for the problems that are keeping Americans up at night. Yes, he does. Deportation. Yes, he does. Tax cuts. Yes, he does. Controlling the federal budget. No ideas. Donald Trump listed policy after policy after policy, something his opponent did not do. This is a lying politicians. Wow.
The issues that I was hearing about on the campaign trail. And I think we have to be crystal clear as we move forward that we are going to call out the hypocrisy of Donald Trump, of disingenuous.
The hypocrisy of Donald Trump. Really. The things you just described are the things that the Democrats brought us, not Donald Trump. We had prosperity and were respected and feared around the world and were successful. And a country that was nearly destroyed, Barack Obama, was saved in less than 4 years, despite treason from the likes of people like you sitting in the House of Representatives, in the Senate, and in the bureaucracy.
Claiming that he is a fighter for working people when his agenda is pro-higher cost.
Pro-higher cost? What planet is Sarah McBride living on? Planet Reebok? Because it's clearly not this planet. By the way, that's Garden of the Gods in Colorado. A once great state, now a leftist lunacy bin full of dope potheads. Yeah. There you go. That's what that is. There we go. All right. Hey, Keith, how's it going? How's life in the UK, in batshit bonkers Britain? How are you doing there? Things are crazy there, no doubt. So they shut down they will shut it down, light rain. At least that's what Elon Musk has said. We'll see if it's true. 23 people currently here, 15 likes, no super chat revenue, and no new members. But hey, it's a small audience. We don't expect much more. Don't like how this congressman shares my name, Courtney McBride. Will they shut down? So yeah. Anyway, so I did a stream tonight because I was in a good mood. I was kind of emotional watching all these Trump victories and videos and Trump doing the dance and people loving it. You know, it's been 2 weeks, and it's like a weight has been lifted off of the world. People are ecstatic. People are thrilled. People are happy once again. People are excited in America. It's just amazing. It's truly, truly, truly some really good news, folks. Really, really good news. Quite excited about it. So, yeah. Wow. What can I say? What can I say? I got to check on something real quick. Wow, I just said 23 people and I turn around and 5 are gone just like that. What the heck? YouTube is so fickle. So fickle. So fickle. AUTM. Okay, Autumn Internationals. Want to check on the rugby because I just realized something because I'm so hungry right now. But I got that blood work tomorrow and should I eat something before I go to bed? They're going to keep me up at night. Let me see. So, yeah, I think I maybe can go get the blood work done on Friday. So I'm going to break the fast. Yes, no reports of looting or riots in Democratic strongholds. No Republicans are burning the streets. Nothing like that happening at all. Yes, but watching the leftists mash and gnash their teeth has been epic and it's been entertaining. But there's much work to be done. That said, it's a great time to be alive. I mean, life is so precious, folks. So precious. It really is. Really, I saw Edna said Sarah McBride. That's funny. Yeah. Go sleep, old man. Matthew Dixon, look at you. Wow. You actually climbed your bum out of bed at this hour? It's only 7:15 in the morning, Matthew. I'm shocked you're up before 10. It's amazing to see you up at this hour. Our nation will look a lot different in 4 years. It'll look a lot better if we can keep Trump alive. People demented trying to kill the guy. I mean, but for windage and the grace of God, Trump would be dead today. Think about that. Imagine what would have happened if Trump had been assassinated. Just think about that. That's crazy. We're so close, so fortunate. And we almost lost Reagan. It was very close to losing Reagan. Jim Brady was tragically shot in the head. His press secretary, Brady, survived, but was never the same again. New political party reform is gaining popularity in Wales. Many are trusting Labour will not compete. Oh, yeah, no, this government of Keir Starmer is going to collapse. There will be people in his party that betray him when they see their handwriting on the wall. Brits are going to openly revolt. I would not be surprised to see, riots in the streets here before too long. Will there be a call-in show coming up in the near future? Courtney, I could consider doing a call-in show, but I want to have a bigger audience for that, not tonight's audience. So, yeah, I could do a call-in show. Yeah. But what I'll do is restrict it to people who I know. So if somebody calls up, I don't know who they are, you're not getting in. We're not going to play that game where people try to play the game. So I'm not familiar with that Reform Party in the UK. That's new to me. Yeah. The early troll gets the worm. So, folks, 76 million. No president has ever won that much in a re-election bid, ever. The previous best total for a president trying to win a re-election was Barack Hussein Obama in 2012. He won 63 million votes. Donald Trump won almost 77 million votes, nearly 14 million votes more. Dan Bailey is in from Wyoming. I thought I saw your name up there earlier. Dan, how's it going? The Cowboy Action Shooters. How you doing, man? How's the father? How you guys doing out there? I miss Wyoming, Dan. I saw that Toyota, I saw an ad. I was kind of half groggy and asleep earlier today. Toyota's having their end of the year sale. They're having a special on Tundra trucks. And I saw that it said like $200 some. It couldn't possibly be the price. I don't know if that was lease or whatever. But, I don't have a vehicle that I trust driving across the country right now. I've got my 2004 Toyota 4Runner, which is a V8, which is fantastic. But I don't want to drive that 2,000 miles one way and 2,000 miles back the other way, plus 1,000 in between, and put that mileage on that truck, even though it's a great truck. And I have my Chrysler, which is now 9 years old, going on 10 years old, and I've had the transmission replaced in it once under warranty, and I just don't, so I need a new vehicle. So I'm looking, maybe I'll buy a Toyota pickup truck, and see if I can afford it. Late greeting, 1216, just catching this. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Barack Obama did a lot of damage to his brand and legacy. Oh, yeah, Barack Obama destroyed his brand this year. Bill Clinton kind of resurrected his, that girl in Georgia was killed by an immigrant. She'd be alive today if they just did proper vetting. God, oh my God. And then Biden puts on a Trump hat. Oh my gosh, Biden so sabotaged Kamala Harris. It was great. Bought a brand new Toyota Prius 2018. It's a great car to drive. Dad says, doing all right. Everyone's doing okay. Glad to make a live stream. Well, I drove past the local Toyota dealership tonight on the way home, and it looks like they had plenty of trucks on the lot. Yeah, maybe, but I'm looking to see. I'll have to take a look at that. Toyota's great. I mean, I have a Toyota. Look, I don't want a new car and a car payment, but I mean, I need something. I want to take a road trip. I'm so desperate to see my country again. I have not. I mean, I've flown out to Colorado a few times the past years. I've flown out to Vancouver, which is not my country, but it might as well be. It's right next to my country. I've been out to Chicago. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Dallas and Houston. I've been to New York. I've been to D.C. I've been down North Carolina and Colorado. All of that in the past few years, but I haven't had a road trip. I haven't gone to Wyoming, to Devil's Tower, to Mitchell, to the Corn Palace in Nebraska, which is kind of lame. I haven't been to Utah in donkey years, and I really need to get out to Utah, if no other reason, just to say hello to Courtney, and go to a rugby game. So yeah, it's overdue. The Redwoods, out in California, 4.6, 4.7 Toyota Motors run forever. Must do the regular maintenance. I have a 4.7 liter V8 engine on my Toyota, and I do the maintenance. It barely, I think it hasn't hit 100,000 miles, and it's a 2004 model. So it's 20 years old. I got it in the spring of 2004. And yeah, it's working on 21 years. So it's almost an antique. Almost antique, but it's fantastic. VW Polo for 10 years now. Also my first car, says Matthew. Okay, Matthew. All right. My brother's a corporate officer at Toyota North America. He has a brand new Tundra. It's an amazing truck. Yeah, they are. They just make great stuff. At the same time, while I love the Tundra, I mean, I would love to have something like an F-250 or a Dodge Ram, one of those huge GMC trucks. That'd be awesome. I talked to a guy. I was going to a veterans meeting over in Chambersburg a few months back during the summer, and I pulled into the BJ's parking lot to get some petrol, and the guy next to me had this massive truck. It was a custom-built, one of those Ram pickup trucks or something like that. And we were talking. He had a trailer behind it. He was traveling. I said, what's that thing get for gas mileage? He goes, well, I didn't buy it for gas mileage. I said, I didn't think you did. It gets about 8 or 9 miles to the gallon. So he had to wait like 8 months for it because it was custom built. A huge engine in it. So anyway, yeah. Toyota, he doesn't like it as the paint scratched too easily. Oh, really? I didn't have that problem with my Toyota. Buy a Tesla. I'm not buying a Tesla. My first car was a 72 Toyota Corona. Wow, Mark. My first car was a 1976 Volkswagen Passat in Germany. It had the coating underneath where they sprayed it on there for anti-rust, but there was a cut in it. So rod got up underneath it. The whole thing rusted. And I was driving along one day and I went over a bump and I'm like, what's that? I feel like I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit. When I got to the softball practice, I got in my car and I could see the car had fractured and my bum was hanging down. I drove it like that for a few months because I had no option. It was crazy. Love my little Chevrolet, says, is that Chris? No, it's not Chris Marie. It's CB. So different Chris. Yeah. So, never owned a Chevy. I drove Chevy pickup trucks back on the farm in the day. Yeah, we had 2 Chevy pickup trucks, 3 on the tree. So the transmission was on the steering column, and it was 3 speeds. Yep. Mine was an 81 Chevy half-ton. Whoa, no power windows, locks, was a great truck. Yeah, so Passat was my first one. The next car I bought, that was in 1985. I bought that? Yeah, 85. Next car I bought was when I was in college. I bought a Volkswagen Passat. But American Passat. And I bought it at a used car dealership. I bought it for like $1,600, and then I had a lot of problems with it. But I mean, I was able to repair the problems because it was a simple car, and it lasted me through my first year in college, and it was kind of falling apart. So I bought a Pontiac Le Mans station wagon, which was really just an Opel Record, but built by Daewoo in Korea and shipped to the States with the General Motors because they own part of Daewoo. It was okay, but I got rear-ended by an Iranian diplomat on the Autobahn outside the Frankfurt airport, the A3, and it was total. But so that was my third car. My fourth car was in 1989. The next year, I bought, so in 87, I bought a used car. 88, I bought a new car. In 89, 90, I bought a brand new Honda CRX SI. Nice little polar white. And it's funny because the car, I went to Operation Desert Shield. in Desert Storm. Didn't know this, didn't pay attention because it was treated with this coating because you get the sandblast out there in the desert because it damages the paint, so they have to coat it to protect the paint job. So when I came back from Desert Storm and I was in Germany, I looked in the window of my car when I climbed in, and a little sticker in the window says, "Protected by Desert Shield." Talk about irony, right? So that was that one. Then after the first car was destroyed, I was down to one car in Germany. And then I put my money in the bank. I saved it. And the next car I bought was a Volvo. A Volvo 850. It was an awesome car. And I drove that for a long time. Lived all over. Lived in Italy with that, Germany, the States. The Volvo was fantastic. Then the next vehicle I bought when I had the Volvo was my Toyota 4Runner, which I still have. Bought that in 2004. Is that right? 2003, 2000. Maybe it was 2003. I think it's 2003. Anyway, yeah, I bought it then. And then, 2004. And then the next one I bought after that wasn't until 2015. Yeah, I didn't buy a new car. Now, I had another car. When I was in Liberia, I bought a Toyota Camry that was there in America when someone had shipped over to Liberia. And I bought it for, I don't know, a couple grand, I think it was. And that got me around. It was a nice car. And it had a great air conditioner, which you needed in Liberia. It was brutal there. And then the next new car I bought in 2004, and I didn't buy another new car again until 2015. And then I haven't bought a new car since 2015, 10 years. Drove two cars more than 500,000 kilometers. Wow, Rick, that's amazing. Truck older than me by the time I was able to drive at 16, says Dan. Yeah. Pablo Charlie, how's it going there, man? Isn't Canada going to be in the same region under the new global order? If you start thinking in line with the globalists, change will feel right. They mainly caught us with this UK and Europe. Wrecked my first car. I rolled a 76 Pontiac Fiero. Oh, I remember Pontiac Fieros. Dang, Courtney, you're lucky you're still around. That was a small car. It is Chris Marie. Okay, all right, okay. I'm confused. Okay, that's right. The other person has a space between there. How you doing, Chris Marie? Love my little Chevy. I've seen your little Chevy. By the way, folks, Chris Marie is a fantastic person, an educator, and one of the great supporters of my channel. When I went to South Africa on that first trip back in 2022, Chris Marie, can I show a photograph? Is it okay if I show a photograph? Just give me permission if I can, and I'll show a photograph. But I invited people to join me at Sterkfontein to go down in the caves, to check it out, the cradle of humankind. And only one person showed up. That was the day I blew 2 tires. Oh, gosh. That I can show. Okay, I may show it. Okay, thank you for that. So let me get that. Let me, oh, my gosh. That first trip back to South Africa was epic, man. I'll tell you. That was something else. Okay, so I'm looking at, is it August of 2022 or September? Let's check August and see what happens. Okay, let me jump forward here. Okay, where's this at? Oh, that's in Bloemfontein. That's what Nasbota. Okay. Okay. So it's going to be before that. Let's see. There's Clarence. I was in Clarence. That was pretty cool. Okay, so it's going to be a while back. Let me see. So when I came back from Zeerust, that's the Free State. That's KZN. Okay, working my way back up. That's KZN. That's with Karucharo. Okay. That's, where's that at? I'm trying to remember where that's at. Oh, that's in KZN. That's with the Khoisan King. Let me check it out. I'll show you the photograph of the Khoisan King. Here you go. This is me with the Khoisan King. So, come on, where's it at? There you go. That's at the Union Buildings and his wife. Okay, let me go from there, and I'll go back a ways. Come on. That's Pretoria. That's Hammanskraal. Okay, come on. That's up on the farm. Here we go. Almost there. All right, so let me see if I can find a picture of us together. There's got to be a picture here. Oh, yeah. First off, here's when I blew the tires. Oh, my gosh. Here we go. So this is the 2 blown tires. That freaking Renault Kwid. Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that front tire blown, and there's the back tire blown. Jeez. That sucked. Yep. And the rim was really bent on that front one. I hit it hard. I hit that thing hard. So that's that. Now, I know there's a picture of us. We came out of the cave. Isn't there one here? Oh, it's not a picture. It's a video. Here you go. All right, folks. Hey, oops. I'll cut that part out. Hey, folks. It's Chris here at Sterkfontein at the caves here, the cradle of humankind, as they call it, where they found a number of the hominid bones here over the years. And I was invited here, because I mentioned I want to go, by Chris Murray. Chris Murray, how are you?
I'm good, thinking. How are you?
Well, it's been an interesting day, hasn't it? A service delivery protest, and so I had to reroute around that. That took an hour and a half out of my day. And then as I came down here, the roads are really bad, and I dodged a pothole and couldn't see another one and hit it and popped the first tire. And before I could get away from it, popped the second tire. It was all I could do to keep from flipping the car over. Anyway, I got some help from people. We managed to fix the tires and got here. And originally, I think I said I wanted to shoot for 2:30, and then I updated this morning. Said let's go for. I'll try to get there too.
Yeah.
But then I went to Maropeng by mistake because I was discombobulated.
But it can easily happen.
Yeah, and so then it was only 10 minutes over here, but I got here before 2:30, so it worked out pretty well. So you've been here before, of course.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So how many times?
Probably about 6, 7.
6, 7 times. Okay. And why is that? You just like the place, or?
No, I normally bring school kids or family members or
Okay.
to show them because they're not from here.
Have you taken the Maropeng as well?
Once.
Yeah, it's not as exciting as going down the caves. Caves are pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we went down there earlier, and the tour guide was pretty good. He was pretty
Yeah,
entertaining.
he was quite, that was quite nice.
He was telling some interesting stories about it, but the weather's just absolutely perfect, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
It's lovely.
So
So people are often asking me why I do this. Why do I do this? That's why. You meet really cool people and have really great experiences. That was incredible. Thank you, Chris Murray, for that wonderful experience. I really, really enjoyed it. And I followed that up with this awesome place I stayed at. Let me see if I can bring this up here real quick. Check this out. This was Frank Corp, whom, gosh, I hope hasn't passed away, but I have this bad feeling that Frank Corp passed away. He was a dedicated follower of this program and hasn't been with us for over a year now, or since earlier this year, I should say. I wrote to his number, and it was still active, but there was no response. So I think maybe his spouse, his wife, still has the number. But Frank Corp actually paid for me to stay in this. This was a lovely place. He paid for the accommodation. It was wonderful. And this is a lovely place in the Mahalisburg, on the way to the what's the damn port there? The damn port. Anyway, I can't think of it right now. Drawing a senior moment here. But this is a lovely place. That's where I stayed at. And if you look here, that's the walkway in. That's the reception there. And breakfast is in there. But my rendezvous was right there. That one right there. That was all mine for the night. It was cold, too. It was cold when I was there. But yeah, you can see the mountains in the background behind the trees there in the Mahalisburg. That was quite lovely. So Hartbeesport. Now it came to me. Hartbeesport Dam. So this is on the way to Hartbees. So you leave Sterkfontein, you go slightly north, then you hook a right to go east, and you drive down the Mahalis Valley. And before you get to Hartbeesport, this is where I stayed at. The only problem with this is I had to go on a dirt road. I hate going to dirt roads to get back to it, but it was a lovely place. Let me see. This is the back side where you can see where the dining area was from the other side of that building. This is where I stayed at. Yeah, how did I fit in that vehicle, Dan? That's a good question. I have a hard time fitting these little tiny vehicles, but I mean, I'm self-funding these trips, so I got to take what I can afford, and so can't afford a SUV, which is what I prefer to have. I have gotten to some of the smaller SUVs kindly because I'm such a frequent traveler that some of the agents for Avis sometimes give me an upgrade. So, but yeah, that's the dining area right there, and I had dinner there, and a friend of mine came up there, somebody I know from LinkedIn that I didn't even know was a South African for years. It never put it two and two together because he's got businesses all over the world, but he lives in Centurion. And I had not realized he's South African until just before the trip. So he came up and met me, and we had dinner together. It was really nice. So it was, I wasn't just on my own. Then he went home in the dark. It was pretty crazy. And then I had my dinner and with him, and then went to bed. It was really lovely. Let me see if I can get another picture of the rendezvous here. So there's a pool, of course. It's South Africa. There's always a pool. Yeah, so here I am outside of the dining area. So here's, I always like to take these tilt my head photographs, yeah. Yeah, Nissan. That's another vehicle. So, yeah. Yeah, it's just a lovely place. So I went from there up to visit near Brits, come on. And here's Herman out on his farm. Nice guy. Really enjoyed it. So let me see. What's this one here? So never before seen videos. So that's traveling with Herman Ruiz on part of his farm up there. So that was pretty cool, north of Brits. We went out and we did the... every one of these cables is cut. Every one. For kilometers. All the way through here. It's crazy. Total destruction. Swing around the other side and face the other direction. Every cable. So this is a rail line that was built that can't be used. Utterly useless. Welcome to South Africa in the 21st century. Dan's got to take off. Okay, Dan. Well, you were going to bed early there, buddy. Yep. So I don't think this one's ever been seen before either.
What exactly do you want to talk about?
And sleeping rooms, and so it really does have that home feel to it.
For sure. Yeah, I think we tried to set up a system of autonomous homes as much as possible, that the home sort of governs itself, manages itself. Just so the kids, you know, there's a stigma to being an orphan, especially in South Africa, and we tried to sort of alleviate some of that. So.
Now, I mean, if it's not too personal, I mean, we're not asking individual cases, but are a lot of the kids who are here who are orphans, is this a consequence of HIV or tuberculosis, something like that?
So the center was initially started because of that. So in the year 2000, we had a mission agency come here from the US on a scouting mission, basically, to have a look at the ravages of HIV and AIDS, specifically as it relates to orphans and vulnerable kids. And so the center was born from that desire to help the kids.
Now, before we go...
That's pretty cool. See, that's what I do. I go and meet people, interview them, I learn about things, and just share it. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, so Hank set that up for me, Hank Klopfer. And yeah, so union buildings are coming up next. Just a matter of time before that area goes to crap too, not being maintained. Just a matter of time. As I said, the Khoisan King. Ah, here you go. Here's you might recognize this face. It's a friend of mine here. There you go. That's at his house, his old house. He's moved now. You might recognize who that is, if you're South African anyway. It's Steve Hofmeyer. Yeah, it's the first time I met Steve in person. It was pretty cool. We had a nice time. So. Then I'm down in KZN. This was the meet and greet at KZN we did in, this was in Howick. And you might recognize a face or two here. There's Erica at the end of the table. It's a lovely time. Lovely time. All right, what else I got there? So when I spoke at the school. So this was the crowd that gathered. Well, that was a party. That wasn't for my speaking engagement. Okay. Then down to KZN. Yeah. So. This is Chatsworth.
Yeah. Look, everywhere you have your 40 categories. But most of the time. think you have to talk about?
Sure.
These are communal toilets.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be working okay now.
Don't get a copyright claim. Hey, you know how YouTube is. It'll be a copyright claim. We still got the music going. So that's Kara Chuaru showing me around in Chatsworth and meeting people. So this is how people live in the ANC South Africa. And they'll blame it, of course. On Jan van Riebeck, Hendrik Verwoerd, and apartheid. This is how people are living in South Africa.
Hello?
Who's there? So Kara Char took me to meet some folks that live there. Yep. So here's me with Big Daddy Liberty. That was kind of cool. See if I can get one that's not fuzzy. There you go. This is an Amazimtoti. Yep. That was pretty cool. Big Daddy Liberty. What the heck is that? Oh, that was a password. And then you got Trevor Donjane. I gotta say hi to Trevor. See what's going on there. And then this is Durban. See, it was quite windy out there. That was in 2022. Yep. What else we got here? It's Trevor Donjane. Oh yeah, here's the Comrades. That was pretty cool. That's the Comrades Ultra Marathon from Peter Maritzburg coming down to Durban in 2022. Just lucked into that. It was really cool. That's that's where I left. That's where I left my damn tripod on top of the roof. I tried so hard to lose that tripod, and then I realized it was on top of the roof. Here we go. And this is like almost literally the end of the race. People they're really knackered at this point. The finish is right up there by the stadium, yep. Yeah. All kinds of people, black people, white people, Indian people, colored people, men, women, fat people, skinny people, even kids with chicken pox, armor, hot dogs. Anybody that's still going after this, they get my respect. That's a hell of a journey. It's a hell of a journey. Look at all those hundreds of people coming, thousands down that road, still to come. It's amazing. This was something else. This was something else. Anyway, it goes on for a bit more. That one's kind of boring, so I'll stop it there. But yeah, that was the Comrades. And so here I am in front of, this is a street, every time I get to Durban, except the last time, I always go by Wyatt Street, one of the smallest streets in South Africa, named after a British lieutenant from the Anglo-Boer War, or Anglo-Zulu War in 1879. And this is in Durban, Wyatt Street. There's a museum there, a military museum. So I always want to take pictures of it. Every time I go back, the sign is in worse condition. It looks like it's going to fall over now. But Wyatt Road, yeah. Yeah, Wyatt Vic. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, always take that picture. So it was a selfie. But I mean, there's a lot of people in the comrades. I mean, look at this. This is almost the finish here, and it was like down to the last hour before the whole thing wrapped up. And look at all those people that came by me there. It was incredible. They do an amazing job with the comrades. It's really something else. Yep, really something else. Anyway, what else we got here? Oh, this is Busisiwe Makwabene. Yeah, this is a lovely young lady who was a viewer. She was going to university. She was in KZN, and she happened, I hadn't seen her on my channel in some time, and then she happened to see the comrades. She saw on YouTube, it popped up on her feed when YouTube was still telling people about my channel, and she's like, oh, you're in town? I said, yeah. So she came and met me in the morning before I left, before I headed out, and then this is here. She's a lovely lady. So when I was staying down along the ocean there, and I've never seen her since then. I hope she's well. I hope she's doing well. She's a lovely young lady. I kind of miss viewers like that on my channel. They're just not around anymore. That's a bummer. Maybe I chased them all away. Who knows? This is headed to the Golden Gate National Park in the Free State. So it's the Golden Gate Park starts past that mountain that you see straight ahead. So, yep, cool beans. Oh, this is pretty cool. This is where the water comes out that goes to Johannesburg and to Tshwane through the Highlands Water Project that the ANC scuppered and never finished. This water's all coming from the Highlands Project in Lesotho, comes down, cuts right through the Drakensberg Mountains at a level, comes out in the pipe you saw back there, and forms this river down here in the Free State, just outside of Clarence here in the Free State. Pretty amazing engineering feat on the part of South Africans. Harkens back to a time when things worked in this country. So that was kind of cool, huh? I don't think I've ever shown that footage. It's amazing how you can record this and it's there long after the fact. So cool. Yep. What's that? So what's this? Oh, this was somebody's property. Okay, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Aw. Yeah, that's the gentleman who passed away. Barry's. That's Barry's. He passed away. Yep. That's in Bloemfontein. Sadly, he passed away. Had a midnight delivery of this. This was pretty cool. I didn't have a Cheetahs jersey, but then CB made this happen. It was like a cater delivery. I took the picture. That was delivered to me. Look at my beard splitting there. It's down the middle. Yeah, I got that. That's my first Cheetahs jersey. That was so cool. It was a midnight delivery. Yikes. What do we got going on here? Oh, and there's Gray College. Yep. And then here I am with Monty Jackson and his wife, Crystal. Yeah. Monty Jackson. What a great guy. It's also Wyatt in the first Anglo-Boer War. Stone with the name in Durban, if I recall. Okay, I did know that. Rick, I was unaware of that. Huh. And then here's a meet and greet. This is the one we did in Vanderbilt Park. This was in Vanderbilt Park. This was pretty cool. Had a nice time that night. Yep, pretty cool. So I had a good crowd show for that, which was really nice. So that's August, and then September. Yeah. Here I am with Mark Oppenheimer. That's in Santon, at the place where I left my rugby ball behind. I left my rugby ball behind. What an epic story that was. And then I'll show you why I left it behind. And here I am with David Ansara. There you go. It's the first time I met David in person. It's pretty cool. Just had him on as a guest. So, and then this is why I left my rugby ball behind.
It's because they distract me with the noise. All right, folks. So this ball is for the 2023 Rugby World Cup, as you can see. And I met with Nas Bota yesterday, Joel Stransky today, Victor Matfield tomorrow. This is going to be a unique ball. So I'm going to ask Joel to sign it on this side in black, let it dry for a second, and then sign it in gold on that side. That way I can rotate it in my studio. So leave space for Victor. Not that he needs a whole lot.
And then I left the damn ball at the hotel. I was in a rush to get out of there. I think I went from there to Afri Forum, if I remember correctly, and that's up in Centurion. So I left the damn ball there, and then people went out of their way to get it back to me. Eric and others organized a recovery of my ball. But I got it back. And then here I am with Kali. This is up at Afri Forum. There you go. That's pretty cool. Yep. And then let's see what else. That's Ernst von Sale at this is at Afri Forum. It's the first time I met Ernst in person. Hey Arctic, how's it going? Mike's out of here. He's out of gas. Well, I'm going to stop soon too. It's getting late, but yeah, and then I did an interview with.
That's recording now. But at the same time, I noticed that he said that Julius Malema.
This is with Ernst Rhodes.
And I remember watching the trial and Mark Oppenheimer cross-examining. I don't recall Julius Malema providing evidence. There was no DNA, there was no fingerprints, there was no documents, there was no film, there were no audio recordings. Actually, there are those things.
They bribed Nigel to go get the ball. I don't know what they did, whoever, but it was pretty cool. I have some photographs I can't show you from someone's personal collection of most amazing rugby stuff. Then you might recognize this guy. This is another person I met. That was the next day. This is at Linwood Bridge. And anybody recognize this guy? That would be one Victor Matfield. Yeah, look at that. Makes me look like a tiny guy next to Victor Matfield. That was pretty cool. So he autographed my book. How cool is that? I actually got a video of Victor Matfield autographing my book, or his book. Yeah, so wow. Yep. And then I met these people, and they were really lovely. They just want to take a photograph with me. They got to chat with Victor, and so they want to thank me and just take a photograph with me. I never noticed this, but these dudes are working on the overhang up there behind us. You can see a pair of legs up there. Anyway. All right, and then I went to Boer Cola after that, which doesn't exist anymore apparently.
Because I never drank it. I won't endorse something I never tasted. So you guys offered to send me some stuff, and I think I cautioned you. I I don't know if you got the word, but I was talking. I said, thank you, I appreciate that, but you're going to find out that it's almost impossible to get it.
So it almost cost 5,000 rand to send like a 6-pack.
Yeah, exactly.
Air fried, and that's crazy.
Yeah, so where's my Coke?
5,000 rand for a 6-pack. That's insane. That's insane. But that was Boer Cola. And then the epic meet and greet, folks. This was awesome. This was one of the most incredible meet and greets. This is the biggest one we ever had. This isn't even the whole crowd. Look at this meet and greet, folks. There's some faces there I haven't seen since, but some faces I see all the time. I recognize a few people that I see all the time. Yep, I'm wearing a Bulls jersey in that one. That was an epic meet and greet. Yep, that was so cool. So cool. Leovan, I think I see Leovan in there. Yeah. The lighting was pretty cool. And we had to do a silent live stream, which people tuned in, a lot of people. So, and this is, I was almost in tears because this was a surprise. They had a gift for me and this was it. They retrieved my rugby ball. Arctic, it was a Lekka Joel. It was a Lekka Joel. Light Rain would like to see adventure around. Well, I've got some pictures of myself military, but not nearly enough. Yeah, I've got some. I've shown some. And then this is pretty cool. Check us out just chilling in this picture. Here we go. Here we go. Zuzu, Dumudenga, and Koketso Retsani and Chris. Look at that. That is a cool shot, man. I love that one. That is a cool shot. I'm going to have to, you know what? I'm going to send that to Coquette or to Dumo right now. I'm going to do that right now. Dumo. All right, there we go. I'm going to drag that one over and put it in there and send it to him. And then I'm going to send it on to Koketso as well. Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, yeah, so and then this is a lady that I know. I've known from LinkedIn for a long time. She's a DA counselor in Johannesburg. Both of them are actually DA counselors. I didn't know the lady from my left shoulder there, but the white lady I know. I've known her for a long time. Lovely lady, and we finally got to meet in person. But it was weird because I was in the wrong place. She told me where to go, but there's two places that have the same name, and I was flying out, so it was pretty tight to make my flight, but I did make it. Yeah, so pretty cool. Time goes by, folks. You know, it's crazy. I mean, all the people, all the places. And then there's this. There's this. This is so cool. So anybody recognize who this is? Anybody recognize that? That's right, folks. It's Cape Town. It's the Victorian Alpha waterfront, and that is Giselle and El Jose. Ah, that was so cool. So cool. Yeah, they were in the northern part of the Western Cape, and they drove down to meet me. It was pretty cool. So,
we did a great show there, and then after that we went to.
You can't even remember. It's been so busy.
I can't remember. Vredendal.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we did 2 shows there, and then Elands Bay, Lambert's Bay, and then we went to Velden. That's a small little town, but it's.
It was worth the time.
Yeah, and we did a great show there. Yeah, ended the tour there. And we came to Cape Town to see you.
Just to see me. That is so cool. I mean, people come to see me. Very humbling. Rick, your son still treasures the photos with me in Uppington. That's awesome to hear, Rick. Yeah, I've got the Uppington photos here too. Arctic is saying I managed to avoid being in any photos. That's not true, Arctic. I do have a photo of you and I from Linwood Bridge. But it wasn't on that trip. You are in a photo, Arctic, from Linwood Bridge. Have you forgotten that? Have you forgotten that? We did a selfie. I've got a picture of you. I can prove that Arctic exists. What the heck is this now? Come on. What is this? I can't remember what this is. I can look real quick. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is back down in the Western Cape. Yeah. Check this out. This is a meet and greet we had there in oh gosh, bless it. I'm having a oh gosh, I want to keep saying Hammanskraal. It's not Hammanskraal. It's oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank here. Good look. I hate that. What is going on with these blanks? So let me do a map here real quick.
Maps. Ah, come on, Chris, get your head together. Oh, man, it must be getting old here. It is late. I can't say that for sure. But why am I... Oh, my goodness. Come on. Come on. Why can't I... Oh, Hermanus. Good Lord. Good Lord. It's Hermanus, yeah. Yeah, Hermanus. And there's a couple of usual suspects and one lovely elderly lady in her 90s. This was an incredible... There's two of my biggest supporters right there. There they are. Look at that. This was an awesome... This was one of the best meet and greets ever. This was so cool. There were only like, what, 7 of us? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. But it was so cool. And we had pizza. It was such a lovely evening. The rain was there. This was so cool. They also came to my recent meet and greets down there. So, wow. Wow. That was cool. That was so cool. Wow, man, the memories are just amazing. People are just so cool. I mean, a lot of people are shit, but these people aren't. These people are cool. Yeah, I'm trying to find what the next one is. It's so cool. Is this up in the hills? Let me see. No, this is the one. I think it is. Oh, yeah, this is driving up over the pass. Trying to get to Franschhoek from behind. This wasn't easy to record while I was driving. The camera wasn't stationary. It was in one of my hands. Look at the fog coming in. Why am I on the wrong side of the road? I just realized I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. Why am I on the wrong side of the road? That was cool, huh? So that's just above Franschhoek. Just off to the left there, below that is Franschhoek. In fact, yeah, if I have a picture over here, you go. It is windy there. If I tell you it was windy up there, you'll believe me. You heard it for yourself. Wow. Oh, here's look at my beard. I was trying to take a photograph. I was trying to take a selfie. Didn't go so well. Just blew back in my face. Oh man, man, oh man, oh man, man. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Anyway. Oh boy. Anyway, what's that? I think that's enough of that stuff. Anyway, so yeah. So I just want to show you guys. Oh, I got pictures still up in there. So, all right, how we doing? Was on the meet and greet, was leading the brandy charge. Yeah, I think you were. Erica, welcome. Show picture, a photograph of Erica earlier when I was in Howick for that first meet and greet we ever had. Yep. Wow. Minus 4.2, a little bit of wind. Not too bad right now. Where are you at, Hakan? Where are you at tonight? Or tomorrow. It's tomorrow. That favorite place is to take a photo of Franschhoek. Always stop there to take selfies. Yeah, no, I've got plenty of photos of Franschhoek. It's a nice spot to do it. So I don't mean to drop off, particularly when Edna and Erica have just popped in. My apologies, but it is 1:04 in the morning. I'm a little tired, and I've got some stuff to do. I was fasting. That's why I was drinking water, because I've got to do some blood work. But I decided that I'm going to eat something before I go to bed, and I'll do the blood work tomorrow. So just tired. Long Johns. Oh, you got Long Johns on. Okay. Anyway, so the purpose of the stream tonight was just I was in a good mood. Still reveling in the Trump victory and the return of sanity to America that we're headed towards, and just how all the people are trying to kiss the ring and change their behavior now, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, that's why I did it. We had a lot of fun. We talked about Scott Pressler, about what happened in Bucks County, about the election totals, the updates on that. So I'm going to take a break here, grab a little something to nibble on, maybe some crisp and some tea, and then go to bed, watch a little bit of TV, maybe Are You Being Served or the IT Crowd, and get some rest. And I'll be back tomorrow morning, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the other channel. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. As I said at the outset of this video, when I was kind of emotional, excited about the win, it's really special that people actually care and want to watch this stuff, you know. I was watching a young lady who has a channel. I wasn't familiar with her, and she was all upbeat. And I'm like, well, it's just nice to just be happy and do a live stream where you're just happy, man. Oh, you're in Scandinavia right now, Hakan. Okay. Yeah, I love Scandinavia. I've been to every Scandinavian country, except Greenland, which is technically, it's North America, but been to Iceland, been to the Faroe Islands, been to Norway, been to Denmark, been to Finland, been to Sweden. And for a bonus, I've also been to some of the Baltics, including Estonia and Lithuania. So there you go. You're very welcome, Pablo Charlie, and hey, Erica. You're all very welcome. So yeah, so I just want to share my good mood with folks, and thank you for being here. Appreciate your time. Your time is valuable. And so have a lovely morning in South Africa. It's already 8 o'clock there, and it is after 1 a.m. here. My folks out there in Utah, Courtney, who are watching, who dropped off earlier, and to Dan in Wyoming, thanks for tuning in. Yep, and all of you take care. All right. Yep, just the beginning of winter. Yeah, well, it's the same thing here. We're supposed to get snow today. It was raining earlier. Oh, my goodness, that's one reason why I'm awake. I couldn't have gone to sleep if I wanted to. Freaking rain came sideways and hit the side of my... I got a big window right here just to that side of the screen, about 2 meters away. And the rain hit it sideways loudly, really. And that's going to be... It's going to turn to snow here a little bit later on. But the accumulation is going to be about that much here in this part of the state. You're very welcome, Chris Marie, and thanks for letting me show the video. I thought it was a photograph. I think we got photographs of us later on, but I wanted to share that. So we just kind of memory lane. Didn't go all the way back to Uppington on that trip, but maybe we'll talk about it another time. Yeah, so thanks, guys. Take care of yourself and be safe out there. Don't take any wooden nickels. Speaking of which, where is my wooden nickel? I got it here somewhere. Someone gave me one. All right. Where the heck is the closing video? Cheers. Bye-bye, guys.